Forgot to click the live button. I forgot to click the live button on YouTube. I always forget to click the live button. Good morning, C. Good, Mark. Good, Nicholas. Good, Daddy. What's up, brother? Brother. Bias? We will talk about it. We'll talk about it. Bro, what is better, account standard or zero? For you, brother, I'd probably recommend the zero. The payout's gonna be less, but there's nothing wrong with taking a smaller payout and then working your way up to standard. Standard's more expensive. So I don't want you to spend 3 times as much expenses. I'm assuming, not to judge you, but I'm assuming that you haven't had that much money coming in. Um, so keep your expenses as low as possible. Keep your expenses low, right? So get the zero account. It's way cheaper, 3 times cheaper because there's no activation fee. And then you can move up to standard after once you have money coming in. Right? You gotta treat it like a business. You think we're shipping we'll talk about what I'm looking for this week. This week's gonna be a lot more important than this day because this is a Monday with no news, and we've already moved a lot overnight. So, I mean, I'm here to look for an opportunity. Um, we will be following safety protocol, but what's more important than today's bias is the overall weekly bias. So I will go over that. Wait for some people to join up. Yeah. DXY is near the bottom right. If you can't see the DXY chart, probably say switch to YouTube stream. Funding ticks. Funding ticks is a decent option. It's not my best option, but I mean they'll probably pay you. But I do think there's better options. They are quite affordable though. But there's some really affordable ones. Funded next 25K. Alpha Futures Zero is like one of the most affordable accounts. Funding ticks scam me. All right, there you go. I take it back what I said. I mean, I've never tried them, so I can't really talk about them. Oh no. You'll never buy funding ticks? Well, there you go. I would just get an Alpha Zero account. Funding ticks ain't that good. I take back everything I said. I mean, I've never tried them. I really like the firms that I use, so there's no need for me to get any other ones or explore. Hit me with an IP excuse when I was late from payout loss. Yeah, the thing about funding next is, okay, yes, they're cheap, but that means they may not be profitable, right? Like, so they did have to be denying payouts, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, my main firm is Alpha Futures. That's like what brings me the most money. Um, but I'm also currently using Kick Profit Trader, and I do have 5 Top Step accounts. I'll be honest, I wish they were Lucid accounts, but they're not, and I'm not gonna switch now. Obviously, I have 5, so I'll just work on them slowly. You thought they're getting rid of it? Yeah, they'll make a new prop firm. Don't worry. I passed a Bolt account on Funded Next. You got any tips on how to run it up? That's the one where you just need to get a buffer, right? You can request payout same day. You just need a buffer. Am I mistaken? Um, I think if you're trading the bulk, you want to be aggressive. You know, like you want to be aggressive. Just trade one mini, just like 500. How much you spend on accounts monthly? See, I'm not like most people. It's pretty low. Sometimes zero. In January, it's gonna be zero. I don't want to spend um that much money at all. I know a lot of people talk about spending a lot of money on accounts and getting larger payouts more frequently, but it's not really my style. I kind of like that slow and steady, you know, get some money from payouts, put it into my live account, invest it, rather than I do have a Lucid code, yeah. And if you've never gotten a Lucid account, it's 50% off for the first thing. So my style is not to go. Um, my style is like not to get. You know what I'm saying? Get a lot of accounts and just keep cycling. Is it technically probably better return on investment? Yes, but the thing is, like the people who do that, Lucid is 35%, but if it's your first time buying an account, it's 50%. That's what I was told, unless that promotion is over. Um, so that's just me. Like a lot of people out there, they cycle accounts. But the thing is, a lot of the people who cycle accounts, they get a lot of accounts every month and then they get payouts that are bigger and larger more frequently, which is great. It's a great profitable return on investment system. A lot of them have another source of income bringing in a lot of money so that they can afford to do that. And if there's a month that they don't get a payout or, a couple months where they don't get one, it doesn't really hurt them, you know? So I prefer the slow and steady route. It just kind of fits my style. Whenever I'm like ultra aggressive, I seem to just not trade as good. And my main goal is to just become a better trader still, even to this day after making money. I just want to still become a better trader. So I like slow and steady, keep the expenses low, and maximize how much I can make. Obviously, at some point you're gonna want to scale, but I like to scale slowly, right? I don't just buy 25 evals, try to pass them all, max pay out them, and then go again. Like that's just not my style. I like the slow and steady equity curve. Um, and that includes the equity curve in my bank account. Do I still risk? Yeah, on evals I'm still quick, but I do them one by one still, and I risk anywhere from 1 to 2%. So, how do you recommend going about 25K Lucid Flex for an easy payout? So on that one, I think you just need 5 winning days, right? So, although I would go for a buffer, which I think is 1250, I would make a simple plan, Roger. Risk around 125 to 150 each trade. Maximum loss limit for yourself 250 on the day, and you just gotta run it up. You gotta run it up like 1,000, 1,500 maybe. So a couple of wins, 4, 5, 6 wins maybe. What's the difference between Lucid Pro and Flex? I think Flex is no consistency rule, but smaller payout cap. And I don't know. Just get the Flex one though. Pretty sure Flex is better. You got the Pro. I mean, it's not that big. It's not that big of a difference. What time is it? Should we go over bias now? Okay. What you trying today? Oh, yeah, try every day, bro. Okay, let's break it down. PPI tomorrow. Let's break it down. Um, so overall, higher time frame bias is still bullish until we break lower aggressively, say below this low on a closure basis. I'm still going to be bullish on the higher time frame. Obviously, it's Monday, January 12th. We've already seen a pretty large sell-off, which means we potentially could see that break lower, maybe today, tomorrow. But as of right now, that has not happened. We simply came back into a discount. We're almost at previous day's low, which is Friday. So I'm going to make two soft annotations right here. I'm not going to label them, but what are these lines? These are lines to tell me that if we are going to go lower, it could possibly reach these price levels. Now, there currently is an SMT at previous day's low, and we're trading above that blue box currently. So it's very simple what I'd expect today. If this low is safe, so let me make it very clear. This is the SMT. And if this low gets protected, meaning we do not trade back to this low, I don't even want to see it get close. Like realistically, we should be finding support somewhere in here already. Maybe anything lower than this is a red flag. I'm happy to look for longs and expecting today to deliver higher. The reason you can expect that today is because if we're bullish on the week, we really should not be invalidating this low. It would be kind of a red flag if we came all the way down here and then reversed on the week again. It's possible. That's a very choppy. weekly range formation, but it's possible. So no one really cares about all that stuff. What's the bias for the week? Overall, on the week, I'm still bullish until we get a true break lower on the daily chart. I'm remaining bullish for the week. Um, so we're remaining bullish on the week. Today, obviously, we had a huge sell-off. We have a new week opening gap right here. You're gonna want to keep that labeled for the entire week because if we are bullish, then there's a good chance we'll return into it and flip it. If we're bearish, then we're probably not gonna come back here, if I'm being honest. Although there is one thing you want to keep in mind, and that is it's a CPI week. And what does that mean? Well, if it's CPI week, that means we have the opportunity for a lot of manipulation. Like we can have extreme manipulation on one side. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go really far down and then later on in the week reverse, right? Because we have that much room. We have that much volatility. We have that much juice. We can really see a big expansion. So going into the day, we're gonna be looking for a long. It is safety protocol day, meaning I want to be very careful with what I trade. We're going to be de-risked. I actually don't even have my live account open. I do have my funded accounts open, but not my live account. And we're going to wait for regular trading hours gap. We're going to have a huge opening range gap. So what are we going to look for? Market open. I'm only going to probably look for longs today because it's going to be a really unlikely chance that we even get a short that's worth taking. So I mean, we'll see, obviously, but if you look at a dollar index, also, it really could be bearish from that red box that I annotated. I was expecting it to offer resistance, this red box. For those of you on YouTube, you see what I'm talking about. It's that breaker on the daily and the order block here and this old fair value gap here. So, right. If dollar index is bearish, that's a good sign for NASDAQ for clear longs, but we'll see. So, there is a bearish SMT on all-time highs, but it's only bearish if the drawn liquidity is bearish, right? If I told you all-time high is an objective, are you going to see that as a bearish SMT? No, right? So the SMT never makes my bias or never gives me my potential drawn liquidity. What's good, Angel? I mean, like really today the bias is neutral, but on the week I'm still bullish. That hasn't changed yet. Um, what's good, bro? I caught 500 first. Do I keep trading or should I call it? On a day like this, bro. Honestly, I rarely give people this advice, but I would just. Oh my God, we're that far away. It's a huge opening. Oh, it's only 200 points. Okay. So there's your opening range gap. Um, Annotate it. It's very key. Okay. This is interesting. We may not make a lower low than this. Really, we may not. And that's what I'd want to see, if I'm being honest. If I'm bullish, we've already done so much work lower. I don't even want to see a lower low than this. Yeah. Okay. The only question is, what do we target here? The issue is, like, if I'm wrong about bias, we're about to get absolutely smoked. You know? Like, I want to see here. If I'm wrong about the draw and bias, we'll get smoked. So we want to make sure if we're going to take a setup, it's going to be really strong. Oh, I was giving you advice, but I didn't finish. Yeah, sorry. I do that a lot. Um, I usually don't recommend people to stop trading because I like to keep trading. So my advice to you is if you find a setup that's worth taking, you have to set a rule for yourself though. You're not allowed to end the day red. There's no way because you've already successfully managed your risk by taking a win, right? So there's no reason to end the day red. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of displacement I wanted to see. I'll admit I didn't expect it to be right at 930, but it makes sense because you don't really, like I said, we're already at that point where we should not go lower. So the drawn liquidity is starting to look pretty clear, in my opinion. Um, we are in a 1 hour bearish, so it's possible I'm wrong and we reverse from here, ruling Project X. But it's a great thing. Project X always be crashing. I'm sure they'll make a better one. Whatever's coming to replace Project X, it's gonna be better. You know, whether they built their own or if there's something else out there. This is my targets. How do you determine your buys? The daily chart. Daily chart is still bullish. I'm sure it'll have some trade copying. Yeah, it must. No way they would get a platform without it. I hope they make their own new one, but there are pretty good platforms out there that are pretty much the same. So we could just use one of those. How much do I have to pay to talk to you personally? Um, well, if you just want to talk to me like one small thing, you don't have to pay, brother. You can just message me. But if you want to join Bootcamp and put in work for the entire month or months to come, the Bootcamp's $40. So you can talk to me every day there. What prop are we talking about? Alpha Futures. So Project X. If you don't know Project X, they're leaving every single other platform. Is there a discount code on TradeZella? I have a discount code for 20%. It's Gaddy20. I just bought NVIDIA. Average price is now 183. Really like it. Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna be holding that for a while. I wouldn't call it mentorship. I would call it boot camp. I would call it boot camp. We just show up every day and we put up work. What's good, Woody? Except TopStep, yeah. Except TopStep. And TopStep owns Project X, right? So they're the ones deciding to leave all the other firms. Any suggestions on discipline and not catching an entire move? I don't know. Yeah, so your mindset is focused on making money still, and that's the wrong place to be. Your mindset needs to be not losing money. You gonna trade today? I mean, maybe. If I get a protraction long here, that's what we have to wait for now, right? So going straight up. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate because that was a really nice potential move, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say first presentation. This should stay open. This gap can be traded to. I wouldn't want to see this gap traded to. This one's good. I'm gonna remove this big blue box, but just so you guys know, it's that daily level. You know, I'm not gonna remove it. I'll just make it really faint. Yeah, that's fine. You caught the move, nice. Elon Musk fueling this long. This is going straight to NWAG. If this goes straight to NWAG, that's actually kind of lame. I won't lie. Of course, yeah, of course. I love that model. I think it's just 930 manipulation. Yeah, I personally disagree. I just think we're bullish and we're kind of just seeing 930 pump. Um, Obviously, if we're bearish, then this is a very good manipulation, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say it couldn't be, but I was bullish and we're moving higher. So for me, that's confirmation, of my original idea. Could we obviously find resistance here and maybe I'm wrong, we come back for all these lows? Yeah, that's possible, obviously. But Again, I'm not gonna be bearish on the daily chart until we flip this gap and just take out that daily SSL with a body. We can wick it if we close below it with a body. That's when I'm gonna flip bias on the higher time frame. How are you today? I'm great. Thank you for asking. Eddie, how much do I have to pay to talk to you personally? Okay, I already answered your question. I'm guessing you missed my answer. If you want to ask me something just quickly, you want to talk about something, you don't have to pay me. People message me. I'll probably get like 50 DMs a day. People just asking me for help or questions. Um, but if you want to work with me, I don't know which one you're asking. I'm giving you both options. My boot camp is $40, and you can talk to me every day over there. But if you just have one little quick question, you know, message me. No biggie. This is how. This is we have done enough on the downside. Let's hit. Yeah, what platform you recommend and use? My favorite is Alpha Futures. That's where I get most of my payouts from. They're just the easiest. My bias was bullish. We're starting to take out all my targets, and model presented for me. My market and markets end down. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Call it ETH gap if you want to make it the same annotation every time. Yeah, you can join for a month or two. You can join for 1 week if you wanted to, but is 1 week enough? Probably not, but you can. I think Bootcamp is a better idea than Discord streams because one, YouTube records all the streams so people can go back and watch them. Two, I don't think people need streams anymore, man. I think people need Bootcamp because okay, there's people who are new and they need to learn, so Bootcamp will help them. But even to the people who do know how to trade, they don't need my stream. They need to be held accountable, build consistency, build discipline, and identify their mistakes. You know, that's the goal of Bootcamp. Like, you gotta identify your mistakes. It's 40 per month. It's 15 per week, and you can join in the Discord if you want. My main Discord's free. What's good, Ferris? I'm good, brother. You're in YM Longs. Good luck, brother. Yeah. So YM did go lower initially, and it is starting to reverse potentially. There's some good displacement on YM. The YM Long is not a bad play. I like that play. Um, Not a bad play at all. If I join the bootcamp, yeah. I mean, listen, all the information on the bootcamp is there, so just look at the information. If you think it's gonna help you, come. If you think it's not gonna help you, I mean, I told you guys exactly what's in bootcamp, so hopefully, no surprises. You know what you're gonna get. Thanks for the Trade recommendation. It helped me a lot. Yeah, it's amazing. We should have a 5 minute gap in here. I can look for a aggressive protraction from there. Um, I just realized all my annotations on the mini. Painful, 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 painful. Um, well, to be honest, there's not that many important annotations. YM long delivering. That was a good call to switch over to YM and play the Six Sister approach. Yeah, I couldn't trust that order block, although that would be a protraction model, and it wouldn't be a rule break. It's not something I would take again because just given the way price action formed today, I still need to see a really good setup, even though my draw is pretty clear. I think I annotated this correctly. For some reason, N1 looks a little bit different, but close enough. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take that order block, so I wouldn't take a setup like this. Could you? Yeah, you could, but I'd really want to see more like a cleaner retraction model, not the one that forms at the hive day. Be looking at NQ short or long. I mean, I was bullish going into the day. Targets are already being met, so now I just kind of have to be a little bit patient, see if we get a good amount of. Why do you chart the micro? I don't want to chart the micro. It's just I execute on the micro, and just for simplicity's sake, to save myself time, I already have to go through so many charts. I just keep it all in one place. Why I'm long to London High? So nice. Really, that should maybe that's play of the day right there. You just full ported shorts. Good luck, man. What's good, Camlot? Love watching your lives. Appreciate you. Shorts? No. That catch along? No. No model. Appreciate you, Defar. How do you see the volatility so well on your chart? Because I'm trading you with chops. Sorry, what do you mean? I don't understand. I have the same chart as everyone else. How much you risk per trade normally? Like, what's your max risk you would leverage? On a 50K account, on my live account, it's 1%. On a 50K funded account, the most I would ever lose, like it depends on the account and what I'm going for. If I'm in a time where my risk is increased, it'll be $250. That's it's I rarely increase my risk. Currently, it's like $200. Usually, it's less. It's hard to get exactly 150. I want to risk 150 each trade max, or sorry, 200, but it's hard. Like sometimes you have to give or take, somewhere because the micros. Shorts in favor more? No. I don't want to see shorts currently, but it's possible, right? Like, do I play chess? I do know how, and I do like chess, but I haven't been playing as much as I would want to. That 5 minute gap, I think it's a 10 minute gap now. 10 minute gap's forming. Yeah, I mean, if I get a night, like what I'd want to see is a nice bearish fair value gap, retest org 50, then go above. I would trade that. I do have trading view premium, yeah. How much you risk in eval? On eval, 1 to 2%. On funded, 0.25%. I would target NWOG and the overnight highs. Car do you have? I have a Lexus. It's an old Lexus. Like every move should be engaged, pressing the mid and entering liquidity. And WOG, it's the overnight gap between price. This white box. That's where I think we can go today. Okay, we're inside that 5 minute. I'm gonna annotate this fair value gap that we talked about already. There's org 50. This will tell us right now if we're bullish or bearish, most likely, because if we're bearish, there's a good chance we just flip here and start going lower. This is exactly where we would reject from, before the org fill, the hourly fair value gap. We hit the top of it right there, one tick. But again, I'm bullish, so I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at, potential inversion here idea. Obviously, still need confirmation that it's likely to continue. We're gonna have a 950 macro protraction setup in here. Oh, we haven't had a nice one of those in a while deliver. It's been a while, I'll be honest. So we can get one and it just, actually plays out instead of chops. It's been a while since we took one of those. I don't want to see this gap get traded to. There is a 4 hour, yeah. I got the 14 per month subscription. Nice. Why is trading you 10 minutes behind? So Bro, the data doesn't come from TradingView. The data comes from CME. You have to pay for the data separately. So yeah, you buy TradingView Essential Plan, and then you buy the CME data, which I think is $5 a month or $7 a month. Don't you think it'll come down? Uh, it's definitely possible. It's not like clearly bullish in my opinion still, but I am bullish. I'm not interested in any shorts, so opinion. You a car guy? I do like cars, but you probably won't see me spending money on cars. I'll just take whatever works, you know? Like you're not gonna see me buy a car until like all my family members are taken care of and my kids and my house is paid out. Like I'm not gonna buy a car until all that stuff, just me personally. That's how I roll. So my future house needs to be completely paid off. My, you know, my kids need to have money in their investment accounts. I don't have kids right now, but I'm saying they need to have. No, I don't have a kid. I'm just saying for the time I do, how am I gonna buy a car now? Like a nice car now when I'm gonna be having kids and they're not even taken care of. Make sure they have accounts with money saved, invested for them, so they can just take over when they're 18. Obviously the family has bills. I have brothers and sisters. Although I do like cars, and if I was to get a car for myself, I would want an R35 GTR. That's my dream car. Um, Probably will be a while before I get that. It may be like a late 20s play for me. That'd be like late 20s. There's a 2 minute gap here. See how much risk to reward this setup would be. It's not really risk optimal. Like I would have to take it like this. We can tape read it. It's not the most risk optimal. We're gonna have to take it before it closes. Now obviously we could, minimum stop loss here. Maybe you get an entry here. You could target the Wednesday high. You know what? I actually like that as a target now that I see it. It's looking a little bit more risk optimal than I thought. All right, this might be the play. Just a 2 minute inversion. I mean, we have to get it, obviously, but if we get the inversion here, I mean, I'll try it. What's the risk? 40. Yeah, we'll take it with two cons. It's a good trade. We have to close bullish. I'm not going to front run the gap. We have to close bullish. You guys see the gap right there. Pretty clear. All right, we're going to try it. So pretty simple trade idea. It's 950 macro. We traded to the 5 minute gap. We got a 2 minute inversion. I'm going to put my stop at the low for now. And I'm going to target the Wednesday high, but we'll have to manage the risk on this trade, obviously. So risking $160 on this trade, so exactly what I'd want to risk. On alpha, risking a little bit more. Some pretty good expansion immediately. So immediately what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my stop to 842. Already taking off around $50 risk right there. So moving it to the bottom of this fair value gap, 842. Really, you can put it here because this should be really aggressive breakaway. But we'll see. So I think it's going to be a simple manage. We'll take one off at NWAG. There's not going to be a pyramiding opportunity. You know what? I think the stop's going to 866. Yeah, it is. The stop is going to 866. Okay, stop's going to 866. I'm now risking $30 on this trade. Even less. The reason the stop is going there is very simple. This fair value gap is forming, and I'd want to see that respect price, right? So I don't want to see price inverse that fair value gap. So as if I was just going to buy this fair value gap, we can already move our stop pretty much break even. Again, I don't really care if I lose 20 bucks. Like this is a break even trade to me. I want to put the stop where it makes sense. On alpha futures, I actually got a better fill. So I'm just break even on alpha. On Top Step, we're risking $25. And on this account, we're risking $25 as well. I mean, we could put the stop at 870. All right, so very good trade, very good risk management already. We'll see if it wants to continue delivery. At this point in time, it's out of our control, but we did our job in managing risk. So we'll see if this gap holds. It should be quite sensitive in here if this one's a breakaway. I do not want to see it trade back in here. It should not trade back in here. Should not come here if bullish. We call this a breakaway gap. Because the reason this is a breakaway gap is we've already come down and filled that 5, offered fair value, and then we see speed higher. We don't need to come back down here if we're bullish. If we're bearish, then we're going to see a very nice breaker block. And then if we do get that leg, I wouldn't short it because it might I'm chasing price at that point, and I'd rather just miss the move. But hypothetically speaking, again, I'm not expecting this yet until this fails, but hypothetically speaking, I'm understanding where my idea would be invalidated. If we get a breaker block here, now, before running the buy side, I'd expect these lows to be in question. As of right now, that's not the case. I want to see a little bit more sensitivity out of this gap. One thing I haven't done is checked out the regular trading hours on ES. Open, close, fill, white box. All right, so ES still has a little bit to go as well, so we're not jumping the gun or anything. I just want to make sure ES isn't hitting out targets. Okay, ES still has a ways to go. ES is almost at NWAG. Stop's going to be moved to 875. At this point, I don't want to see a full fill of that gap, which also brings us at break even for the day at least. You'd want to see speed to 50% of this wick. If we get speed to 50% of that wick, that's a good sign. If we're bearish, should reject that. Actually, if we're bearish, we shouldn't even touch that. And then go lower. Similar UCR. We don't gotta talk about religion in here. But I am Muslim, yeah. If you're really curious, you can DM me on Discord. I think that's a 2-minute fair value gap tap. Yeah. So you see that 2-minute gap? Again, I don't want to see that completely fill in. My entry's at 873, so I'm gonna put this at 874. So we'll just put it at 87325 to give it a little bit of room. 8735. But really, it shouldn't be. You guys see that 2-minute gap, right? It's right here. So there's also a 3-minute gap forming. This is where I would want speed. Why 2-minute, not the 1-minute? It doesn't matter which one. You can use. I'm using both. This is the 1-minute. It's still trading inside. The 2-minute just formed. It's the most recent one, and we just traded down into it. And then in 1 minute, it's gonna be the 3-minute, or actually it's gonna be the 4-minute. Do I want to see it do that? No, because then it's gonna probably soup me out. So again, this is where we should see expansion if we're bullish. Now that we came into the gap, you want to see a trade to OB. That would be here. Once we break above this high, the stop is being moved here. So that would secure me not much. $150 on alpha. It's not bad. Did you hear the new popper model by Tenacity Trading? No, I don't know about that. My TP is currently at Wednesday's high, 2600. Call it 2600 flat on the NASDAQ. Yeah. This is funded accounts, yeah. Although I didn't take this on my live account. I decided not to trade the live accounts today before market open just because CPI, PPI. That's a pretty good closure basis. We're going to move the stop to 890. It's aggressive, but that's where I want to move it. Securing $100 on Alpha Futures, 3 accounts. Stops at $65. This account, $65. It's a bullish order block. I don't want to see sensitivity in price here. If we're going to make a lower low on the trade now, it's a little bit questionable of whether or not I want to even be in the trade. So at this point, very successful risk management. We de-risked on the trade initially because it was deep premium. Actually, we didn't really de-risk. I risked 150. But typically, I allow myself a little bit more. So we de-risked by around 25%. Stops at 890. And now it's not in our control. Now whatever happens, happens. We get an immediate rebalance trade back into the order block. So I want to see price stay above this blue line if we're sensitive and heavy, meaning like really strongly bullish, above that blue line. On the body premise. Are you gonna trade right now? Currently, yes. TP6. Oh, you're going for it, Mike, eh? Are those the equal highs on the daily? 8-3, huh? It's 8-3. I don't know what 8-3 is. You got something I don't know. I don't have a membership. I have a boot camp. If you want to just try to improve as a trader, I'm on ES. Where should my stop loss be? I'd put it at the same low. I mean, at least break even at this point. You're right. So ES doesn't have that same fill of the gap, but ES is the more bullish asset. So I still like it at 954. It's still a bullish order block, and I like to trail aggressively, but that's my style. Everyone has a different style. That's my style. So it looks like we'll get taken out here for, well, as long as it stays above the blue line. It already closed below the blue line on a closure basis, so I'm not going to move my stop. We'll just see if it wants to make a lower low or not. Might just be a small day. So what I'll do is on the next trade, I'll just risk profits. That way we're at least break even on the day, and already will be a very successful Monday. Assuming this fails, obviously it hasn't hit the lower, it hasn't made a lower low yet, but that's not the reaction you would want to see after forming that green up close candle. That's a higher high than a lower low. Okay, so I'm still in on my funded. It hasn't taken us out yet, actually, so still give this a little bit of time. I'll swap screens here. For some reason, it hasn't. Still in on the funded. It hasn't taken us out. I'm in a long. Donated $2. Sorry. Once I'm in a trade, guys, you'll notice I'm not reading chat as much. Just gotta focus on my executions. Okay, so there we get taken out on all the accounts. Pretty good trade. We'll see how low this goes. There is a brand new 5-minute gap. Could it still be bullish? 100%. It's definitely possible. We got souped out, but if it wants to do this consolidation right before our target, then why even me bother being in the trade? That's a little bit of not what I wanted to see. So, given that the target is right there, I would have wanted to see speed and heaviness, not, a 10-minute consolidation once we're about like 1 or 2 candles away from our main target on the trade. So, is it still bullish? Yeah. Do I still think it can go higher? Yeah. Is it worth the risk? I guess not, because I put my stop here, right? So, see. In terms of re-entry, that doesn't break any rules. Could look to take something like this. Even 1 micro. I could risk 2 micros on this setup, actually, because we'd still be up on the day. Well, 2 micros on alpha and then 1 micro Yeah, I may do it if we get a strong order block here, like which is it's already not strong because of that candle immediately. So I take back what I said. But I was gonna say if we got a strong order block, I would take that long off the 5 minute. It's not strong. We're just gonna wait. So small win, $100, 3 accounts, $60, 5 accounts, or 6 accounts. Just a small little boost. I'll probably look to risk those profits today. Not probably, pretty much guaranteed. So I will either end the day up more or down or break even on the day. Could you give an opinion on their what? Okay, let's answer some of these questions because it's unlikely I'll be taking a trade here. I'm still bullish. I still think these are in play. I just don't think it's going to be quite easy to catch a trade. 15-minute gap probably formed. Yeah, there's a 15-minute gap here. Is it possible? Yeah, but if I was bullish, I'd want to see that stay open. I would not want to see it come here. If it does, we can maybe look for a long from the 15-minute gap. Remember, it should not come here if it was bullish. But if it does, it's a red flag. It was always in a 4-hour gap. So choppy. I mean, it moved a lot. You know, it went into deep premium, so we may have to see a retracement. Is Gem PO3 your full? Yeah, that's my full model system, like risk management, trade management, everything. What do you think about trading in Monday? I see you talking about if it's not for parallel FMCB, he trades Monday. If not, he does it maybe. I personally love trading Monday. I love Mondays. I can't lie. It's still safety protocol for me, but it's still Monday. Silver bullet is about to be confirmed. If we get a strong order block here, I'd enter that. We completely close that in and then get a closure above the high. I get an entry at 908 if we're bullish. Do you copy all the most? For the most part, yeah. What was the entry on your previous trade? I took it off the 1 minute or 2 minute inversion. Cancel this order. No, you don't have to cancel it yet. It depends where this candle goes. I entered off of this candle's closure. I got in right at the bottom of this candle. Most likely canceling this order, but for now I'll leave it in case this candle flips and goes higher. Cancel that order. So I'm expecting a deeper retrace here. Didn't invalidate. The issue is the risk reward now is not as good. We can still take the trade 2.4R. We'll see. What's the difference between your bootcamp and Gem PO3? The bootcamp is about helping you become better as a trader. Gem PO3 is just my system. Can it continue after a 15-minute for value gap? It's possible. How do you know how would be a deep retracement? Oh, how deep? Don't worry about how deep. Worry about what would invalidate the idea. And if we find support in here, doesn't invalidate the idea. We can take out this low and still be bullish. So it doesn't matter how deep. It's whichever one forms your. I mean, that's how I see it. Whichever one forms your model, right? Let's say price, say it retraces here and then just goes boom. Well, it's probably bullish now, and that's your confirmation. Say price does something like this. Okay, then it's this low plus this fair value gap, and it goes higher from there. How do you know how deep? You don't know how deep. That's why I don't take retracement trades. You see, you become better as a trader, you mean psychologically? Both. It depends where you are. Some people are new in the boot camp. They need to focus on the technical. They need to focus on understanding, you know, why I manage my risk from here to here to here, and then why I put my stop here and see how we secured profit on this trade. By the way, would have been break even. They need to learn that stuff. Why is my target here and here, and why do I have these opening range gap quadrants? Why was I bullish today? Why did I mark out 950 macro? Things like that. We never invalidated this 5 minute OB would be. Yo, you know what? The 5 minute chart looks totally fine. Like all that stuff on the 1 minute, it's all fun and all, but The 5-minute chart looks like totally still bullish. I'm considering something like this. A1 well, the point is for me to figure out what you need, right? It depends what you need. I'll have to look at your trades, look at your journal. All you have to do as a bootcamp member is just show up every day. There's homework assignments every single day. You show up, you do them, you ask questions, you join the meetings, you ask me for a one-on-one call when you need it. Bootcamp $40. The 5-minute order block has not formed yet. There is one right here. We're currently trading into it. But if you notice, we've already traded to 50% of it. That's a red flag. Now, the wick can do damage. So currently, what's happening in price, if you want to read it in terms of smart money concepts, we've expanded aggressively open at 930, filling up that opening range gap, leaving a huge 5-minute gap. We trade back into it. We get a 5-minute order block with another 5-minute gap. We've traded down for the last 5 minutes after putting in this swing high. Where did we trade down into? This order block, 50%. This fair value gap still has not been invalidated. So this could be still a silver bullet entry. Alternatively, the 15-minute candle. I'll do the 10-minute chart because it's a lot cleaner. I think you guys would agree. This 10-minute fair value gap is really clean and just staring at you. It could come down here, which is why I'm not like jumping the gun on a re-entry. I'd really have to see a strong displacement to go long. And it would have to be probably closure above this line. Because we still haven't really invalidated that gap, right? It's sloppy, but I don't mind consolidation in premium. So I would take this entry if it shows signatures of a 5-minute order block. This candle has 30 seconds. If it trades up all the way here, I'll take a trade. No, we made a slight profit, and I'm going to risk those profits on this next trade if it forms. This candle has 25 seconds. It has to keep going. At the very least, it needs to close above here. So if it closed above here, wicks this. If it stays anything like here or lower, I don't want to be in that trade. That's not confirmation enough. Currently, that's what it's doing because that's your breaker or your order block that's bearish on the lower time frames. I want to just get above that, and we failed to do so. So it's going to be hard for me to take a re-entry now, given how that 5-minute closed. Obviously, I mean, I'm talking about an entry up here. Now, obviously, if we get something more defined, maybe 10:30, this is going to be open for later on in the session, perhaps. Sure. But if it just goes up now, that's hard for me to trust. Could you still take it? Of course. But it's hard for me to trust. In fact, a short to this low is probably higher probability than a long to this high right now. Not that I would take that, because I'm not trying to take every single move, but our OBs, when you're marking out the order block, it's wick to wick all the way through. But when the order block is forming, use the body. Gatie, why is my trade view so slow to compare to Project X? I'm not sure. Mine is like perfectly second to second the exact same. So I don't know. I actually don't know. Which days do you trade? If I say safety protocol, then that's a day I'm de-risking. Today was safety protocol. Why does everyone categorize order blocks differently? Anyone who does it differently than that, sorry, they're just incorrect. They didn't watch ICT's concepts. I've seen every single one of his lectures multiple times. I've watched his order block theory lecture 3 times. It's a 4-hour lecture specifically on order blocks. That's how you define it. How do you have ETF investment or individual stock? I do both. So I have one investment account. That's just, I throw in a bunch of bonds, ETFs, equities, government, Canadian, American, safe investment, slow return, easy. I also have another one where I do individual stocks. My picking and choosing. When do I lock the 2-minute, 10-minute, and 30-second time frame only with premium? No, you should have it with essential. You said wick to wick is the proper annotation. Yeah, so when you're marking out the 5-minute order block, you're marking it out like this. Okay? Now, This is straight from ITT's lectures. Now, the most important significant parts of the order block are the opening price of the body, obviously, and the 50% level, mean threshold. Okay? Now listen, if you have a really extreme wick on that candle, don't view like it's still technically part of the order block, but it's more so just gonna be a what's it called? Um a gap. And I'm thinking about jumping in on this 5 minute long before it forms. We'll see where this closes. It have to close above here. It's not A plus, but to take it to just risk profits, I'm happy to do so. It depends where we close. I think that's a tape read trade. I just feel like I can find better in lunch or PM. So I'm not gonna jump the gun here, but it's not a bad trade, and if someone took it, I wouldn't be surprised if it plays out. It's too sloppy. It just took too long, you know? So we'll tape read. I'm not even gonna tape read it because I think people are gonna copy trade. We took one trade so far. We're up a little bit of money. I want to risk that little bit of money to potentially make more or go break even. And immediately that didn't close. I mean, if the 5 minute closes, I maybe would then take it. But for me to jump the gun, I still like something like this. We'd have to close on the 5 minute though. The 1 minute was not enough because of how long it took. 9:56. Bearish order block here. Yes, if we're bearish, you would view that as a bearish order block. Sure. I'm not in this trade. I'm just reading the idea. What you eating? Toast with guac. I'm almost done. My DXY looks weird. Anyone else notice that? It looks like chunky. Okay, if we get 5 minute closure here, I would try it. I'd risk profits. Yeah, we're gonna try this. We get a fill there. All right, let's try. Risking profits on this trade. I made a little bit of profit on the last trade, and now I'm risking my profits to see if we can capture the next leg of the move. It's a 5 minute protraction model. It's not A plus, but the risk is already managed, so I don't have to worry about managing my risk on this trade because it's already managed because I'm already risking profits, right? Or only risking profits. So I'm happy to take this trade, and we'll see if we can get a continuation higher. The main thing I'd want to see, obviously, is speed above this high. We're gonna watch it on the. These executions. We're gonna watch it. Um, we're gonna watch it. I'm gonna remove this. Speed above this high is what will be a confirmation factor here. Pretty simple model for me. 5 minute protraction, 5 minute gap, 5 minute OB, silver bullet idea as well, and we'll see if it plays. We've already we've done the hard work by managing our risk because we're only risking profits. We can trade up to here, but I wouldn't want to see us close below that. So we'll focus on this immediate rebalance level. As long as we stay above that with the body, it looks good to me. The reason it's not a plus is because of how far in premium it is. Um, that's why. It also took really long to form. Um, the continuation, 5, 10, 15 minutes, then we're entering on the next candle. But that's how long it takes to form a 5-minute protraction. So the reason it's not a plus is because of one, it's in deep premium, and two, um, that's really it. That's really the only reason, because the drawn liquidity is good. The setup itself is actually pretty good. It's just high up, because we can still remember that 15-minute gap, or let's say the 10-minute gap. We could still come all the way down here and still be bullish. I'd get stopped out because my entry's in deep premium, right? So if I hadn't already taken a small win, I wouldn't be taking this trade because I'm only comfortable taking this trade knowing that the risk is already managed successfully. You know what I mean? It's already been successfully managed because I'm only risking my slight profits from the first attempt. This trade is not risk optimal unless you're working with profits, is what I'm trying to say. It's not a risk optimal trade. So we'll see. So far, not looking the best, but see how long we work in this gap. I take it at all because I take it at all. It's not risk optimal if you take the trade being flat on the day. You don't have to talk in the boot camp, but I mean, you should journal and share with us. I mean, you can at least talk to me. At least, I mean, if you don't want to talk to me, even then, I mean, how can I really help you? If you mean like verbally, then no, you don't have to talk verbally, but at least like share and stuff. Why take the trade at all? Again, this trade is worth taking for me because I'm already up on the day. You get what I'm saying? It's not that this trade is not. I'm saying this trade alone, it's not risk optimal. Where am I gonna move my stop loss if we get above this high? Where can I move my nowhere? I can't move my stop anywhere. My stop has to stay here because there's not going to be anything else in this price action, right? I can't move to break even. That doesn't make sense. So it's not risk optimal on its own. However, my risk is already managed because I've already taken a small win and I'm only risking profits. So it's worth the risk. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Surely that makes sense. Again, the only thing I want to see is speed above this high. What could you possibly be drawing that 10 years off? It's the retracement leg. So -1 protraction model. That's what I like to see at least. So ideally, the objective is below -1. Then it's easy hanging fruit, but fine. That's what I was looking for. Like I was looking for if we're gonna double this move, how high is it? It's right here, which is below my target, which is not ideal, but yeah. Again, see how I can't move my stop on this trade? Like the other trade, if it's good, we move our stop immediately. This one, you can't move our stop. But I don't have to move my stop because it's already break even. Right? You get me? Hopefully that makes sense. Well, it was getting quite choppy in here. Dollar's moving lower, which is good. How many hours of sleep do you get? Do you not trade if you don't get enough sleep? Oh, brother, if I don't get enough sleep, I don't even function. I need at least 7. I try to get 8 every day. At least 7. Like I can function off of 6 for one day maybe, but if it's like I need to recover immediately then. Yep, currently in a long. It has to be speed above this high. That's the only thing that'll confirm to me that we're bullish. It can't just be like a little antsy like poke. Like right now, it should be speeding higher. It's not doing so. So I'm a little bit iffy on this trade. Um, yeah, it's not really. I'm not seeing the speed. Like I'm tempted to close this at break even and just try another trade later. I'm not getting the positive feedback that I wanted. However, my stop loss does seem really good. Like if we're bullish, I'll show you guys the 1 minute chart. All this structure. If we're bullish, like if we're gonna come back below here, that's probably not bullish. Given how much time and like I'd say almost effort it took us to get back here. So I don't know if that makes sense. The 875. I mean, yeah, like I'm debating closing at break even and then just trying again, right? Not seeing the speed that I would have wanted to see after the 5 minute OB. I do like the previous 5 minute candle closure, but again, we didn't see the speed towards that high that I wanted to see, which means a couple of things. We could be waiting for 30-minute fair value gap, which is my stop loss. Not a good sign. Um, or it's just really choppy, no news Monday stuff, which is acceptable. Okay, we're seeing some speed there. Can we finish strong on this 5 minute candle? It's a good poke through. If there was a place I could put my stop loss right now. Besides 88150, there's really nowhere. There's really nowhere I can put my stop. It covers the low here. See. Again, the reason I'm comfortable holding this is because I'm only risking profit. Didn't I already write that? But this is what I mean by not. Oh, there it is. Um, this is what I mean by not risk optimal, right? Like the other trade I took, I'm not talking about the risk to reward necessarily. But this is a good risk to reward trade. What I'm talking about is how much the trade can move easily and where I can move my stop loss. See, this trade, as soon as it formed, I entered because the target's here and just the way the structure is, it allowed me to move my stop like right away. Where the hell can I put my stop here? There's nothing here. I could put it at this low, but that's in play in my opinion. So maybe if we get to NWOG, I can move my stop here. If we get above this, I'll move my stop here. Is it the best? No, but it kind of is what it is. Up another $100. All right, let's move the stop to 897. 898, sorry. That's a strong candle. I honestly may just close it there. We just fell short of org. We shouldn't close it there. Okay. I'm still gonna try to look to risk my profits again. Now we're up 150 on alpha, 100 on top step. I closed manually there. I didn't like how much speed we got after being perfectly delivered to NWOG and one tick away from org. So I'll tell you what I want to see now. I want to see this. If we get this, I'll take a long again. Yeah, Yeah, we're working overtime here for like change. Working overtime for like $40, $50. So it adds up. Multiplied by 3. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm happy to be out of that trade. Okay, we wait. You're holding stops, break even. Good luck. This, yeah, that was the idea. Looking for a continuation, like, but a couple of red flags. How long it took, the speed on this candle. The fastest candle we got and all that was this one right here at 10:26. So to me, that's kind of telling. Is it still bullish? Probably. Bro should have never entered that trade. Yeah. Okay, buddy. I found out that my hobo trades come on days where I don't sleep well. Your sleep is important for me. 2 days with 6 hours sleep max. Can't do it. Stop at break even. Good luck. I entered same, but I closed earlier because of no speed. That's a good idea, man. I don't know if you were up on the day already, but that's exactly what I would do if I wasn't up on the day already. How many counts do you have? Currently 9. Org high to the tick. I think we fell short 1 tick actually. Did I mark it incorrectly? No. Yeah, we fell short 1 tick. You know what's funny? ES also was short 1 tick, but ES was short 1 tick over here. We also have an SMT there, by the way, so that was my first trade, so I closed it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, man. Well done. That's really, like, I don't want you to underestimate how good that is that you did that, you know? The trade copier I use is Trade Copia. Currently not using it, but that is what I use. I have it. What's good, Grant? Longs on crude oil, ES and NQ. Is crude oil going sideways? I mean, you got some fundamentals behind that crude oil play, huh? I'm guessing. So if the sell side breaks, honestly, crude oil looks like a pretty good play. Like even maybe long term. Yeah, NQ played. We know what really played. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that YM is through the roof. Take it back. See how sloppy it is in here? Like that's not what I'm looking to capture. This leg was nice. This leg was nice. Fundamentals plus hard time frame bias. Yeah. Gaddy, what lucid 50K should I get if I pass EL before? I get the flex. I closed a bit below break even and then it went to my TP. You closed it like right here, I'm guessing, or here. Yeah, that happens. You just have to ask yourself, Roger. This is a good question to ask yourself, like, because I was looking at the 5 and I'm telling myself like, well, really, there's only one place I'd want to close the trade, and that's here. Because let me just, for retrospect, make it really simple. Is there anything really bad that looked about the trade here? If you look at the bodies, you know, not really. I mean, sloppy if you go down, you look at the wicks. But if you look at the bodies, they do tell a pretty decent story. Now we're running the same situation again, deep retracement. Like, again, at this point in time, you probably just want to wait till at least 10:30 fill or 10:50 macro. When I say 10:30 fill, it's this brand new, beautiful 30-minute fair value gap where the sell side is right here. So if we can soup that, I'll risk profits again. And this time we have even more profits to risk. So I have no problem risking profits. I'll try again. I'm still bullish until this until NWAG gets filled. What I'm hoping for is the same leg that fills NWAG also delivers Wednesday's high. So if we just go up right now, fill NWAG, it's probably gonna kill it for my session. But if we come down, take sell side first, then reverse, then I can take a long org fill and run her to Wednesday high. That'd be that would be A plus 10:30 idea. We'd have to take out this low though. We could even take out this low, but I'd rather only see this one. You were worried about the unfilled if 15. I get you. That makes total sense. But that was there before the trade. So, you get what I'm saying? So, the 15 there was before the trade. So, what I'm asking you to do is when you take the trade, ask yourself, where do you not want to see it go? you know? So then you know what you're comfortable holding, or maybe you're just not comfortable taking it. Maybe like I was right about the unfill 15 before I took the trade, but I still knew that as long as it doesn't trade here or make a lower low, then it's probably not going to go to the unfilled 15. You know what I mean? Yet I got 3 alpha zeros expiring in 3 days. I'm $2,000 away. I'm stressing out. What do I do? Yeah, you're gonna have to pass those or pay the rebill. So what do? Start full porting them, man. Wait, tomorrow's CPI. Yeah, bro, hop on the CPI method. I'm gonna be honest. CPI alpha zero. Yeah, that's what you do, man. Unless you want to pay the rebill. Someone said, "Can you explain breaker blocks?" Sure. Over here, structure is bullish, right? Would you agree? Higher, higher, higher. But all of a sudden, if we break, right, which might happen right here, higher, higher, higher. But if we break now, below this low, we form a breaker block. Now, honestly, it's not that clear here, but this would be your breaker block. And if you want the most sensitive, just the last candle. So, why is that a breaker block? Well, this is the candle that if we break below, structure has shifted, right? We can refer back to that down close candle where structure shifted. It would be right here on the diagram or right here. So, essentially, price is bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. And then we make a higher high, then a lower low. And then what you would expect is this. If you've ever seen this drawing, it's based off the breaker here. So if we break below this, that's a breaker. Again, you want to look at the higher time frame. This is a 1 minute breaker. There's no breaker forming here on the higher time frame, right? Now, obviously, if we're bearish, that changes things. But in my opinion, this is 30-minute gap. I think it's possibly still bullish. Our next sweet spot is going to be 1050 macro. 1050 macro is going to be our next sweet spot. So if this can somehow get delayed until 1050, that would make it easy. You guys know. I say it all the time. My favorite model is my 1050 macro protraction. If we get it at 1050, that's perfect. You're taking in trades. I took 2 trades. Long here, slight profit. Long here, slight profit. This one was smaller because it was half risk. 30 points up, 30 points. It doesn't have to be 30 points up, 30 points down. It just has to be a break after making a higher high. So a bearish breaker is once we make a higher high, we make a lower low. Video on quarterly theory. Why would I make a video on that? I don't trade quarterly theory, and I don't use it. What do you consider when targeting a session liquidity that kills one high and lower the entirety of the session? I don't really understand your question. What do you consider targeting? Depends on the situation. What's your rules to enter on with no hesitation? That would be A+ checklist criteria or my trade checklist criteria. It's in the Discord for free if you're interested. It's just a list of 6 things that I require to take a trade. I'm back, fell asleep. Nice. It sounds stupid, but okay, I hope that makes it. Now it looks good volume. It looks good, but this wouldn't be a valid trade for me because we're still just consolidating. So unless we went out, actually I lied. There's an SMT there. No, the SMT is not here. Yeah, I'd have to see it soup. I mean, did ES enter a higher time frame gap? I mean, technically, ES entered the 30-minute gap, but again, I really want to see that sell side get taken. You trade on the higher time frame? Not really. Like I look at it, but I enter on the 1 minute. So looking at NQ and ES versus SMT, what should that tell you if you're bullish? You're talking about the bearish SMT? That's my target. Easy target then. If I'm bullish and there's a bearish SMT, that's an equal target. So you can view this as an SMT. If you're bearish, valid. You look at it like this. New week opening gap, SMT, deep premium. We can probably see a run to low this low, maybe this low, or maybe we get a full reversal. Who knows? However, if you're bullish, I don't even see SMT here. What I see is equal highs on ES. That's what I see. I see ES has these perfect equal highs that are left, we're bullish. If we sweep sell side, I know exactly where it's going to go. Most likely those equal highs on yes, right? It's not a bearish SMT unless you're bearish. There's so many SMTs that form in one day. There's no way that you can just look at all of them to give you bias. I can just show you the checklist here. Let me just find it. This would be a good study though. If anyone's in bootcamp and they're in the stream right now. Oh, by the way, I should probably post the group talk. For everyone in bootcamp, I was telling you guys that we talk about the word as uneventful. The word we're going to be using is uneventful. This was already predicted to be uneventful. You would agree that this is pretty uneventful, right? There wasn't really much opportunity. You know? Why? Well, we had a huge move overnight. It's the day before CPI, and it's a no news Monday. It would make sense that it's pretty uneventful. And the reason I use that word is because it tells you what's the opportunity looking like to catch a really nice, easy trade. That's what I'm talking about. There's no really nice. Is there any real trade here that's like nice, easy, smooth? You just take it, you hold on to it, it looks good, and it keeps going. No, that didn't really happen. Not with my model, at least. Maybe someone else's model, right? That's fine. But not for my model. My model, the eventful moves would be on another day. Maybe tomorrow, PPI, maybe Thursday, Friday. So this is uneventful, and it's important to study this and see how aggressively I managed my risk, because I should be even grateful that it even gave me the opportunity. A lot of the times it doesn't. A lot of the time you just enter and it just immediately starts doing this, and you don't even get a chance to manage your risk. So it's important to be ready for these days. Which, by the way, even the first trade I took was de-risked, right? So the entire day today I was safe, completely. What's good, TP5? My bootcamp's 40 per month. I bought and take the whole move since London. Nice. What's your opinion on scalping? Nothing wrong with scalping as long as you have a model. ES did take out some sell side. Yeah, you are right. It's not the clearest manipulation. I'm more focused on this 1050 macro time interval. So if we're just gonna go up right now, like, is there an easy setup in here that I can trust to put money behind? No. I mean, we went sideways for like an hour, and then we came down a little bit and we just expanded. No, I want to see a clear, obvious manipulation lower, strong displacement higher, and that's the trade I want to risk on. I don't have a one-time payment. The goal isn't to keep you there forever. The goal is to try to get you paid. And then, I mean, you can stay after you get paid if you want, but I'm assuming most people will want to leave. It's not a course, it's a boot camp. I feel like that's very different. Although there is a course included, but that's not the main goal. 5-minute bear safety entered off that M on ACS for silver bullet. No body closure above 1 hour gap too, so bit if yeah. Would you take the 5-minute inversion long? We'd have to sweep the sell side first. I feel like a lot of people make a model and they always say something like deliver from 15-minute fair value gap, or every time I see someone who trades inversions, they always say like it needs to deliver from a level. But I always notice in my chat, people ask me, oh, would you take that inversion? Would you take that inversion? What about the criteria that filters out the inversion? I want us to take the inversion after we sweep the sell side. If price just goes up and inverses, okay, I'll miss the move. I don't care. You know? Do you just ignore 4 hour gaps? No. Oh, sorry. I know I thought I was going to show you, and then I didn't. So give me 1 sec. It's not hidden. I mean, everyone knows. I have a full video on my A+ checklist. It's pretty easy. 6 criteria. Let me just find it. I gotta scroll up. Where did I put this thing, man? Man, this is so interesting. Where did I? Oh, it's probably in this. It's just how I filter out my trades, right? Here it is. This is what I use to filter out my trades. Not my entry models, not my strategy. Um, simply the criteria that helps me filter out trades, because my model forms a lot. You can go back into the YouTube stream, and I'm not gonna keep this here. Um, my model forms a lot. You guys want to see how many times my model technically formed today? Okay, it formed here once, that would have been a stop out. It formed here twice, that one played out. It formed here 3 times, that would have been a stop out. Formed here 4 times, that would have been, oh, I kind of took that one. So 4 here, and then 5 here. Technically, that's a short. 6 here, short. 7. Uh, this could technically be a long, so that's 8. So technically, in all this price action, there's 8 trade setups that I could have taken and say, oh, I didn't break any rules. I need a method to filter those out. The course alone is worth joining. You should make access to courses, the monthly subscription, and weekly only part of it, like L6 to L22. The course is golden, you're right. But the truth is, if people just watch my course, like the course is really good. I'm not gonna lie. I really like my videos on my model. But it's not gonna help anyone unless they join the boot camp and ask me questions and practice and learn and show up and do the homework and journal their trades with us, and join the meetings and ask questions, ask for a one-on-one. The course isn't going to do anything for them. That's why I don't like making a course. I mean, I have it for those who want to learn, but people think that they're just going to learn the course and it's going to help them. Unfortunately, that would be a little bit too easy, don't you think? You just watch 20 episodes and all of a sudden you can print money, from trees. That would be a little bit too easy. Um, so yeah, it's definitely gonna open your eyes. You're right. It's 100% gonna open your eyes. You're gonna see things a lot more clearer. You're gonna have a good model, good system, but how are you gonna implement it? That's what matters. I can give you courses out the ass, bro. I can give you models out the ass. 1,000 models out there. There's so many models out there that will you for some people open my eyes. You're right. But how are you gonna manage risk around it? That's what matters. It's not my model that's profitable. It's my risk management that I use around my model that's profitable. So that's what I'm gonna teach you. OC6. I'm gonna teach you how to manage your risk. Because I think something that people don't understand is profitable equals money lost less than money gained. There's literally 2 factors that you need to focus on. Only 2. Do you see good model in here in the equation? No. It's literally just money lost versus money gained. You don't even need a model. You just need to know how to lose less and make more. You could trade random shit. You could just click buy here, and if it goes up, ride it. If it goes down, cut it early. You probably make money. As long as you find a way to make the amount that you lose less and the amount that you gain more, that's it. That's all you have to do. It's just 2 factors. So I'll give you an amazing model and my system, but what I really have to teach you is these 2 factors in that model. You get what I'm saying? $50 left to lose my account. Yeah, when you have $50 left on the account, brother, that's when CPI comes in. That's when CPI comes in. Yeah, straight up. So tomorrow, luckily is your lucky day. Tomorrow CPI, $50, go crazy. So we do take out the sell side here. I was hoping for a little bit of a cleaner run lower. When I say cleaner, I mean there's no fair value gaps in this entire price leg. There's one here that's really small. There's one here that's really small. So, I mean, we'll see. You look at ES, also looks a little bit sloppy. There is an SMT here. I was hoping for a clean, remember I said clean manipulations lower. Just 10% for alpha right now. Um, how much do the one-on-ones cost after during the course? It's included. It's not a course. It's a boot camp. I really don't want to tell people that I'm selling a course. The course is just there for people who don't have a model and they want to learn a model too. I'll tape read this. I won't take it. Maybe if we get a fair value gap if we get a fair value gap here and we trade back into it, I'll buy that. But just this enough? I don't think that's enough for me. So tape read. Could it play? Yes. Not something I want to take. When will it go back to 25%? I don't know. When's the next holiday? What's the difference between course and bootcamp? I don't know why I have to keep clearing my throat. I swear I'm not sick. What's the difference? The bootcamp's goal is to make you a better trader. Well, the bootcamp specifically is called payout bootcamp. There's really only one goal for me. It's to help you pass an account and get paid. That's the main goal. If you need to watch the course because you don't have a model, okay, obviously if you don't have a model, how can I help you, right? But that's not the main benefit. Learning the model is not going to be the main. I know that sounds maybe surprising to some of you, but surprisingly is not going to be the main benefit to you to just learn the model. That's easy stuff. You can learn the model. I can teach you my model in 3 days. You think all of a sudden you're going to start getting paid? No, you're not going to get paid in 3 days just because you learned the model. You have to learn how to manage risk and emotion around that model. So I'll still tape read this. I think it can potentially play. I don't think it's worth the risk. It's just not clean enough the way that it formed. Um, so maybe we get another stage for track. Maybe we get this. I'll take that one instead. This one doesn't look too. It's not really convincing me that it's gonna go higher. I might trade lunch. I do want to risk my profits on the day because I'm up on alpha. I'm up around like 1 R, a little bit less. Yeah, we'll see. At the end of the day, you're selling a course and making money off people. Call it whatever you want. Yeah, I'll call it a payout boot camp. That's what I'm gonna call it. Real easiest long NQ tapped in NWOG. NWOG's up here. All accounts are 80% off. Apex, yeah, Apex is not a bad option right now. 80% off. The activation fee is $65 currently if you get it during that period. So it's good pricing. It's definitely good pricing. Kettlebell psychology depends what you struggle with, brother. Different for every single person. 300 left on my Alpha Zero eval CPI. Try to come back. I'd go CPI, brother. If you hadn't taken a trade today, would you have taken this one? Oh no. No. It's too slot. Like if there was a fair value gap in here, sure. But this is not really convincing me that it's gonna go higher. Like I want to see sort of more, you know? Maybe I need to see the full breaker, which is here. So like maybe the next leg, you know? Because if I was flat on the day at this point, like the only way I would take this trade, like, maybe if it was my second, but yeah, even then, the other trade was better. I'll show you the 5 minute chart. Like it's not really there. It's not there for me. Like it's really sloppy in here. I just traded both NWOG on NQ. The NQ touched them. Instantly short reduction. You mean easy as shorts? I'm assuming you mean short because I don't know how you longed NDOG. When will Alpha go back to 25%? My guess, maybe next week. I guess it has been a little bit of some time. Maybe next week when they drop the new platform, right? There's gonna be a new platform. Gonna go down? Maybe. I mean, right now it's just going sideways. How is it? I don't know, bro. I'm talking about psychology. I was about to get a big payout, but went out of control and lost the account. When I buy an account, I want to reach that level again, but risking heavy and end up losing. The issue that you struggle with is pretty much the same issue that every single person has. Sorry. Pretty much the same thing I tell everyone. Your goal is to make money and you're approaching it with the wrong way. Your goal cannot be to make money if you don't have the skills to make money. That's like me saying my goal is to dunk when I don't have the vertical to jump high enough. So why am I focusing on dunking when I need to be focusing on increasing my vertical? You're trying to get paid, but you're assuming that you have what it takes, and I'm not trying to say you're not good. The fact that you're even doing this and trying to improve means a lot. But let's face it, if you haven't been paid yet, no offense, I'm not trying to put anyone down, but probably you just don't have the skills yet, and that's okay. You don't need to have the skills yet. The whole point is to get to a level where you do have the skills. So we need to put the goal of making money aside. That can't be the goal. It can't be. It's unachievable as of right now. That's unachievable. You get what I'm saying? I know it sucks to hear, but it may be better to accept that reality than just keep blowing accounts for no reason and focus on improving. You have to focus on improving your skills. And what skills do you need improving right now? Well, you're blowing up. That's a very important skill. If you're blowing up, you will never be profitable. It's impossible. You cannot. You cannot blow up as a trader. You'll lose everything. You can be the best trader in the world. If you blow up, you lose. You're out of the game. You have to stop blow up. How do you stop blow up? You shift your mindset to managing risk. That's your new goal. Lose less money. Not make money, lose less money. That's my goal every day. When I show up, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to lose less. That's what I want to do. This is a breaker block. I'd say on a closure basis, now it's a breaker block. So I wouldn't take that setup. But now that we have a breaker with a fair value gap, I'd maybe take a protraction out of that or just buy that. I'm thinking about something like this. So sloppy. It's really sloppy if I'm being honest. It's a 10-minute cleaner. I feel like I'd rather risk my money in PM session or lunch. Do you get me? I think I'll find a better trade to risk 150 bucks on. Could you buy this breaker? Yeah, you could. We tape read this. We can also tape read this. Long. If it formed faster, it would have been easier for me to trust, but it took a really long time. I would just watch. You stream PM sessions? I could stream PM session maybe. If I'm trading it on my computer, I stream. It's just not often that I'm actually trading it on my computer. But if I follow my edge, liquidity sweep, SMT, V share, there's another problem. That's not your edge. Right. Again, that means nothing. The edge is the risk management around your system that repeats. Right? The consistency comes from the risk management around your model, not the model. If your model was truly definitively profitable, you just go automate it. Just go automate it. You don't even have to trade anymore and you can print money out the ass. But that's not the case. It's the risk management that makes it profitable. So it doesn't matter if you follow you should follow your model. That's a good first step in managing risk. If you follow your model, it means you're taking good trades. If you're taking good trades, that's a form of risk management. If you're taking bad trades, that's not good risk management. You're risking on stuff that's not worth risking on. There's an SMT here. This is really sloppy. It could deliver, but inverse suspension block at 1023. Probably sloppy, but let me see. That is an inverse suspension block. When I think about it, delivered a good setup to the low right here, low hanging fruit retracement idea, if that's your style. Trading never starts from zero. It starts the day you become disciplined with your model and yourself. But what constitutes a good trade versus a bad trade? Subjective, isn't it? Not for me. This is a good trade for me. It's to have all 6 of these criteria. Not a single one of these can be missing. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of that, that's a good trade for me, and I'm happy to risk behind it. Break even plus risking profits are top 3 relaxing feelings of all time. There's nothing better than break even. That's so true, bro. You're saying if someone takes a trade that you're saying if someone takes it. No, it doesn't have to be my model. I'm just saying don't take a bad trade. Like it's for each person it's subjective, of course. You don't have to follow that checklist. You can ignore all 6 of those if you want. But like, let me tell you, like realistically speaking, you tell me which one of these things. Look, this is a challenge for chat. This is a challenge for chat right now. If you do this challenge, I promise you it's gonna help you. Which one of these 6 criteria do you think is not important for you? Which one is here? You're like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that for a good trade. Which one? Because in my opinion, this is like the minute. Like this is like you need this. Like I'm not telling you need this, but this is not even like really ICT concept. This is literally just you want to take a high probability setup. Well, all high probability setups have this. You need them all. You cannot sacrifice anything on this list. You need them all. You know? Which one? You need a clear objective. A clear drawn liquidity is subjective. A strong setup with confluence is subjective. Yes, but if you're going... Okay, the goal isn't how you determine your drawn liquidity. The goal is you need to have a target on where price is going to go. Wouldn't you agree? You also need a setup. This number 3 depends on your model. Right? Obviously, you need to have a strong setup. It depends what your model is. But you need to have a setup. Wouldn't you agree? You can't just click buy or sell randomly. You need a good, clear setup. Your model needs to form. The model should be clear. That's what number 3 is. Number 1 is a clear objective. You don't have to be right, but if you don't know where it's going to go, then it doesn't make sense. 4, a key time. If you trade New York session, that already is a key time. If you take a trade between 10 to 11 a.m., that's already a key time. So I would this is saying you can have all of this, but if you're trading at 1 a.m. in the morning and you're expecting a, full reversal, that doesn't make sense. You could argue number 4 if you're a scalper and it really doesn't matter what time it is. Sure, you can argue. I'll give you that. You can definitely argue that. But for the most part, most people are trading inside of a kill zone, and in which case number 4 is already checked off. So in my opinion, you need all 6 of these. Again, that's my checklist. I think everyone should have their own. That's mine. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just not comfortable buying this breaker. It really could deliver. I think I'd rather save my risk. This year, my objective is just to let it ride to target without closing. That's a good objective, man. Maximizing profits is a good objective. Hit any trades today? 2 small wins. Is an edge followed with discipline and risk managed? So as edges followed with discipline and risk is managed, so yeah, I mean, literally, the equation for profitability is you make more than you lose. There's 2 factors there. If you know math, that's 2 factors. This number needs to be smaller, and this number needs to be bigger. Risk management is going to make this one smaller, right? And good trade management is going to make this one bigger. Cutting losers and riding winners. There's 2 things that you need to do. You trade whatever you want to trade. It does not matter what you trade, as long as you can meet this equation right here. That's it. It's literally just math. Obviously, how do you do this becomes a question. Well, how I do it is different than how you do it because, my model, my system. Again, this could be a tape read long as well. We'll just stop here. Not my style. I mean, it is my style, to be honest, but I'm just honestly just not feeling good about this move. I don't like the SMT. I don't like how how long it took, how there's no fair value gaps in this entire price leg. How long it's been sort of choppy in here. But in hindsight, we consolidated. 1050 macro came, swept sell side, S&T. Took a while, but we got a CISD, then we got a breaker. And looks like it's probably going to deliver, so good tape read. I rented long at 1045. Off the soup, nice. That's not a bad long. Unrealistic with your own profit targets. You don't need the objective to be profitable. So staying strong is subjective. You don't need the objective to be hit, but in my opinion, you need to trade alongside where you think price can go, right? Wouldn't you agree? We're gonna put stop right now. Depends where you entered. Um, at least the bottom of the breaker. I'd say right here is good. Bottom of the breaker. You could be aggressive and put it here. You could. You could be aggressive and put it there. Realistically, if it's bullish, it should not go there. It's been sloppy all day though, so you can't be surprised. I would put it there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if it came back, stop me, and repeat the whole process again. I use Take Profit Trader, yeah. Do you trade 30 seconds? Sometimes. 1 hour IFG on, yes. Nice. How do you stay patient? I know what I'm looking for, and I'm okay to miss moves. That's it. Two things. I'm totally fine missing moves because my goal is not to make money. Right? My goal is to lose less. If I miss a move, that's a form of losing less money. I don't have to risk anything. It's very comfortable. I'm very comfortable missing a move. It's a great feeling, actually. Great feeling. Now, if my model formed and I missed an very obvious setup that I missed, and I was like, oh, everything was perfect and I missed it. Okay, that sucks a little bit, and I was definitely hesitating or I missed something, so maybe that's a little bit frustrating. But if you guys notice, the trades that I do miss, it's not like it was the cleanest, obvious move that formed and I missed the beautiful price run, and that's not really what it is. If I miss this move, I'm not gonna be upset. It's a good continuation setup. It's a good long. The narrative's strong. But I can find better delivering trades than this. This is no news Monday. It's very sloppy. A lot of consolidation. The check marks are there. You could argue it's not a strong setup because of how long it took, but it's inside the macro. But I don't care if I miss this move because it wasn't easy to trust. The only ones I care about missing are the ones that are easy to trust. The ones where I don't even have to go back and forth in my mind on whether or not I should take it. Those are the ones I don't want to miss. When price has 930 open, manipulates down, immediately expands higher, forming a breaker, and we have equal highs, 950 macro. Okay, that's the one I don't want to miss. That's clear. I shouldn't miss that one. This one, when it's slow, I miss it. Who cares? I don't have to catch every move. You just have to catch the easy ones. I entered this last long, but exited break even because if I lose a 1 hour on no news Monday, ending on a 0.5 hour. Nice. I don't think that's necessarily bad. You say you close break even. I'm assuming you probably entered 1045 then. You think after C 956 it reverses? It wouldn't reverse, but we could take buy side and then retrace deeper. It's possible. Would I look for that? No. I'm not a fan of retracement trades. It's pretty rare. I'll take a retracement trade, but it's definitely possible we take a buy side and have a deeper retracement. How you become profitable? What you change in yourself? I started focusing on this equation right here. Money lost. I'm not that good on this one. You guys see me pyramid sometimes. Sometimes you guys watch me hold on to a trade and I give up profit. So I'm not that good on this one yet. I'll be honest. I could definitely do a lot better pyramiding. I could definitely do a lot better holding my winners. I could do a lot better closing trades early because of something, like securing profits. I can do all those things better. But this one I'm really good at. Losing less money. That's what I'm really good at. So I started focusing on this one. And I'm trying to improve this one. That's it. There's only 2 factors. Nothing else really matters. It's just those 2 factors. I actually have only 1 TPT account. I probably won't ever go for 5. My goal is kind of to get 1, get moved to live, and try to scale that 1. So I think that's my strategy with that. Just go with the one. What do you think will help learning a mechanical model to get some payout to boost confidence? Again, I don't think any mechanical model out there will make you profitable. Um, it's these two numbers. There's no model out there that will simply make you profitable. What's gonna make you profitable is learning how to manage risk behind that model. How do you manage risk behind that model? You can have 5 pro accounts. Yeah, I know you can have 5 lives. I just kind of don't see the purpose when I feel like I can just go one and be aggressive. I don't know. I guess you're right. I do have 5, but it would also be no. I could trade copy it. I don't know. Maybe something I'll explore in the future. But right now, I'm happy with just trying to get one, moving to live, and scaling on that one. If that goes successful, maybe I'll get 4 more. Fund the next 25K rapid accounts payout rule. You just need 40% consistency. That's it. Pretty simple. I am Muslim, yeah. Random question: how old are you? I'm 23. Fund and X is a great firm. I don't currently have accounts with them. That's because I'm happy with my loadout. Like I'm not. I don't plan to get any evals for a while. I don't have any lucid accounts right now. I have Alpha, Top Step, Take Profit Trader, and my live account. That's it. My main focus for 2026, I want it to be my live account, but I want to get some. Honestly, like I'm hoping to get a little couple more payouts in quarter 1. Put that into my live account. And then it'll be easier to be rolling. But I'm already trading my live. We're up 2%, so actually 1.5. 5 funded, 1K week. Yeah, I mean very scalable. Can you profitable taking low RR trades like scalping? I think so. Like, of course, not. I think so. Of course you can. Obviously, of course you can. But if you look at the statistics, actually, a lot of low RR traders are actually quite unprofitable. Um, if you look at like live brokers statistics when they release their statistic, because I think they have to. I was reading a book and it was saying like almost 70% of the retail traders with the broker were actually positive win rates, but they just had their losses were bigger than their wins. And that's what led to them being unprofitable, obviously. But so I just thought it was interesting. Like I think the easiest way to trade is find a way to make your winners more and find a way to make your losers less. And I don't think that means scalping for low RR because that's kind of the opposite, right? That's kind of the opposite. That's making your winners less and making your losses more if you're a low RR scalper. So you're kind of doing the opposite of what's needed, but your win rate's so high and carrying you. So I think that's kind of tough. Anyway, we get the buy side there. If this goes all the way through, I mean, I think Wednesday's high is possible, but we'll see. Overall, pretty successful tape read, pretty successful day for a no news Monday, where 9:30 gave us the main move and we missed it. The first 150 points, and we only moved 45 points after that first high. I mean, I guess you can talk about this high. We've only moved 50 points from that first high, and after 9:30 open, we moved 150. So considering we moved 150 points in 8 minutes, and then we only moved 50 points in an hour and 40 minutes, I would say pretty successful day. How you exit trade and try to make as much as TP. Pyramiding is a good option. Moving your stop loss with the trade, right? You enter, you move it here, you move it here, now you move it here, and then you try to ride it out as much as you can. That's a good option. Partials is a good way to secure money on a trade. The macro is the key time I look for my setup. When we have a big move like we did in Asian land, yep, exactly. Large overnight price run was definitely a factor coming into today. So running what made you stay back to enter, just how slow it was. I just wanted to see a little bit more. Like I'll be honest, was it bad? Was it like arguably it was just as good as the other one I took. At the time, I honestly just was not as convinced. I was a little bit cautious and I thought it was gonna be a little bit more choppy. I want to see a little bit more speed, maybe a fair value gap somewhere here. The 5 minute also didn't look the best because I would have had to take the entry here. I was really considering buying it here. That if I was going to, that's your best entry. Um, inside the breaker, like after. This one was hard to trust, but when it came back, yeah, like that would have been the next opportunity. But also, I'm looking at it, and I was looking at this. Say you got the best entry on the breaker, and I had my stop here, right? That buy side is 1.5. I guess NWOG fill is 2. Yeah, in hindsight, like I could argue it's a mistrade, but what really held me back, TP, who asked? PRCT. What really held me back was I think I can find a better trade in lunch or PM session. You know, that's what it was. Like if I'm gonna risk my profits on the day, I think I can find a better setup. Is the way I see it. Like maybe not. Honestly, looking at it now, it was pretty clear. You know, it was pretty clean. Slow, high resistance in nature, maybe at least a little bit. Definitely slow, but it deliver exactly as you would expect. You know, the immediate rebalance here delivered. The breaker delivered. Um, CISD delivered. So yeah, in hindsight, it did deliver actually very nicely. So it's a good study. Um, at this point in time in the stream, this is where we start making our journal annotations. And you'll notice I think this can go all the way to Wednesday's high, but it's hard to tell. So I would just ride it. Just ride it, I would say. Ride the stop, see if it keeps trending up. See what you can get out of it. I would say NWOG fill at least. ES already just filled NWOG, so you know what I need? I need like those other. I like this one. Potentially a Monday low of week here. I mean, we could go. We could. Did Nvidia pump today by any chance? No, break even. Interesting. S&P's at all time highs almost in break even. Hmm. I wanted to mark. I'm just making my key annotations here. Again, you just ride this out. I'd put the stop right here. See if it goes. Fortunately, the one we tapered, delivered, but it is what it is. I'm not even gonna sweat because it's really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Uh, we'll this color for the breaker. Actually, we'll do orange. So delivering very nicely. I think Wednesday's high is definitely possible. That's what I was kind of looking for to start the session. So some decent signatures in price here. 1050 macro. You see everything that you kind of would want to see. Just making my key annotations. We swept the sell side here. M30, right? 30 minute fair value gap. Yeah. We'll just talk to the sell side sweep. I'll make that a red line. A little bit more visible. Price fills org overnight reversal. No news day. 9:30 volatility. injection displaces higher towards draw on liquidity. And we're going. Wednesday's high is almost there. Might get there. If we take Wednesday's high, I don't know if I'll stream PM. We'll see. What do you think of the daily volume bounce? Possible, yes. It could feel that too. You trading PM or lunch? Uh, I will stay tuned to the Discord. I'll post there. No, we didn't take those last longs. Gaddy, did you still trade when you're sick? You feel a little fight. I actually still do trade, but it depends how bad it is. What's good, Jordy? TP in long. Nice, yeah. Generally, yes. Bearing any new Asia long New York City. Everyone's talking about PM session. Yeah. Um. I mean, let's just say this: if we're gonna reach the Wednesday's high, um, the amount of opportunity available is gonna be very low because at that point in time, we have to work with just the intraday price action. So this is delivering very nicely in hindsight. Very pretty good, solid annotations. No news day. 9:30 volatility injection delivers the move. Like I said, you want to see this one stay open. Now this one also stayed open, but you definitely want to see this one stay open. Breakaway gap. Pretty much all I need for the annotation. So let's make that full screen. Again, I could sit here. I'm just gonna say potential target. Target. This is previous week's high, right? Previous week high. Previous high. And we'll see if it delivers. There's a fair value gap in here inside the new week opening gap. See if that delivers. I think there's a 2 minute. Yeah, there's a 2 minute in there. Okay, I want to say thank you for putting on to preserving capital, making money. You helped me. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it was game changing for me too. Can you explain how to find daily buys? I could sit here and explain it to you, or I could guide you to my YouTube video that does that with examples a lot better than I can right now. If you want a quick answer, I use uh, the weekly power of three and daily chart order flow. Do you think you can be profitable without journal? No, I think it's impossible. I don't see how someone could potentially improve if they don't uh, if they don't journal. I think it's impossible. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's also just like if you don't have what it takes, so at least journal. I mean, some like you're just gonna get outworked, you know. Like it's not much to ask, you know. And if you really just like, oh, I can't be asked, you can't be asked to journal, then you don't want it bad enough, brother. You don't want it bad enough. Someone who wants it more will will take over your results that you're looking for. Yeah, those are my annotations for the day. I don't know if anyone wants to screenshot that. I'm gonna post in the Discord later. But price fills NWAG, potential target here. I'm just gonna leave that open. Is that -1? Yeah, I like that. So one deviation of that, two deviations of this. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a little bit cleaner. I would terminate the trade there if I was trailing that. Anyways, that's pretty much everything for me today. Um, Pretty nice study. Pretty good day overall. No complaints. I appreciate you guys coming through the live stream. Any pressing questions before? Would you take this 1 minute IVG short? No, I wouldn't. What would I target? Where's my clear drawn liquidity? This low? Maybe. But we've already taken out sell stops here, and we've been bullish, so I wouldn't want to target that. I don't know. I don't know what I would target. To be honest. Last question. What's up, brother? PM session officially starts at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, 12 p.m. We're gonna have a call. Should we enter shorts? Just a retracement. Yeah, retracement to what? I'm taking a payout. Should I go with two 150Ks or 550Ks? Which firm are we talking about here? Top Step? I mean, 550Ks is better for you, generally speaking. So I would say 550Ks. Also, they're cheaper. So I like 550Ks. With me. Can you explain gamer can message not what's yeah, that's my study for today. Can I explain gamer can message? Who's gamer can? Label this. Any pressing questions? Message in your chat. Gamer can. Oh, sorry. Generally, yes. Bearing any new Asian London New York sessions can each be their own accumulation. I think he's basically saying you can always look for accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Today is Monday, January 11th. 2026 and session. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming through to the live stream. I will see you guys live every day this week, same time. Again, show up. We manage risk. We never inverted that gap, so still potentially could move higher. I will see you guys. Stay safe. Take care. Peace. Congratulations. Pretty successful day, I would say.